We all know the mass liquidations, the meltdown yesterday. That was something different. You were blocked from the exchanges. Yeah, I've been reading your comments. Well, guess what? There's also big players out there calling for an investigation on these exchanges saying, yo, you screwed retail over on the price. You blocked people from being able to sell and buy. We'll talk XRP price.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
That's right. There was something different about yesterday's move, and a lot of you, along with bigs in the industry, are calling out the exchanges. Shenanigans, manipulations, whatever you want to call it, we know it happened yesterday. Because how many out there were able to even log in and access anything on your accounts yesterday? Yeah, most people weren't priced out from the dip. They were blocked from exchanges. This is kind of like the AMC thing, isn't it? GameStop. Kind of feeling that vibe right there? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now, before we get into the crypto news, like the red up on the screen and the altcoin season index sliding, I've got other news for you. But I also have your comments. Why? Because you, the viewer, met most. JJ Johnson Live says the best day of crypto ever. Whoa, what's the worst day then for you? Watched it unfold right in front of me on my laptop. Liquidation, bloodbath, buying time. So my man had some money on the side. I'm cool with XRP, so I swooped in on $13 Chainlink. $13 frickin' dollars. Up next, 37 cents for Ondo, 7 cents for HBAR. Yes, please, about that time. I got locked out. Glorious. Best day ever. Now, I get it, right? If you were ready to buy, yesterday was amazing. Shit, even today's amazing. I mean, look at the prices. XRP at 247, Bitcoin 112. Bitcoin at 112 is still kind of on the strong side right there. Only down 11% from all-time highs. ETH, though, under 4,000. BNB still somewhat strong, only 12% off from their all-time highs. So, again, it just depends. That's why I bring you news, good, bad, happy, or sad. Depends on what? Depends on where you're at. Are you a buyer, seller, hodler? Pockets and Outlaw says, barely anyone bought it at $1.50 because us plebes were locked out of all the exchanges. Ooh, I've got news for you on that. Clev Dog LB 288 says, good time to buy the silver pullback from the all-time high before Sunday market opens. People moving back into safe assets on Monday. Yeah. Let's definitely pay attention to the metals on Monday. Metals Monday, maybe that's a new show for the channel. Not good. Volume, $476 billion. So these exchanges are not only blocking you out, but they're making money on the exchanges. ADA, one of the hardest hit out there, still down 16%. Doge down 18%. Litecoin down 22%. Toncoin, people have been pounding that. 18% to the downside. This is something we got to talk about. All right, altcoin season index slid. We talked about that earlier today, but check it out. We're at 33 out of 100. That's what you're looking at right there. There you go. Have a great fucking day. You just got bent over, Rover. We were at an altcoin season index of 78 out of 100 on the 19th. 19th of September, and here we are. October 11th, and we're at 33. Here's one for you. Over 19 billion liquidated. In the COVID one, this is about crypto stats for you. In the COVID one, 1.2 billion in liquidation. FTX, 16 billion in liquidation today, 19.16. The biggest liquidation event almost ever happened, or to ever happen in crypto. Almost 20 times larger than the COVID crash of 2020. Luxembourg becomes the first European homie to add Bitcoin to its reserves. This is a big fucking nothing burger. Why? You ready? The Sovereign International Fund, which manages a portion of the Grand Duchy's wealth, will allocate approximately 1% of its portfolio, or 7 million euros. It's a fucking nothing burger. It's 7 million euros. What are you going to do with that? That's nothing. Moving on. All right. Crypto.com CEO urges regulators to probe exchanges after 20 billion in liquidations. Bitcoin market may be impacted. Crypto liquidations hit nearly 20 billion in 24 hours, driven by token depeg and exchange disruptions. Industry leaders like Chris Marszalek are calling for regulators to probe these exchanges for unfair practices and make sure that people that were forced liquidated, right, were actually done so correctly, and not because they were blacked out, not because the pricing information was inaccurate. This is a mess. Crypto.com CEO said, guess what? He needs regulatory investigation into the exchanges, find the largest single day loss on record. On an X post, said regulators should look into the exchanges that had the most liquidations in the past 24 hours. Any of them slowing down to a halt, effectively not allowing people to trade, were all trades priced correctly and in line with indexes? Hell no. We know a whole bunch of people out there are blocked because I've been reading your comments. Why do you think I shared this one in the beginning? That says, yeah, barely anyone bought at 150 because those plebs were locked out of all the exchanges. It's true. People were locked out. Want to see hear something else that's kind of messed up? All right. Bitmine sees an unrealized loss of 2.13 billion in ETH. All right, so Bitmine just came out recently. This is like really, really recent. And Bayard bought a shit ton of ETH. They bought 2.8 million ETH, not dollars worth, but 2.8 million ETH they bought on October 5th at an average price of 4,500. Yo, you ain't close to that right now. 38.17. Damn. So they are now down. How much, everyone? They are now down at 16.48%. So, like, how do you think these companies feel with the strategic reserves going, oh, crap, we just lost money? And what about the companies that were already in trouble that had the strategic reserves? Well, guess what? They just lost even more money now because they don't have the liquidity, the cash to get through this. So there might be a whole bunch of shenanigans that screwed over a ton of people. People wrongfully liquidated, people that wanted to get in on the action and weren't allowed to because their exchange couldn't handle it. Yeah, or you were blocked out so that the bigs could buy cheap. There's a lot of ripple effects happening here. I watched it closely yesterday. I was in shock. I've got the XRP 24 hours up on the screen right here. Yo, we were floating around like 260s in the high, low 270s. And then all of a sudden, Homegirl just decided to just take a massive dumperoni. I mean, a just insane dumperoni. And a lot of players aren't bragging about how low they were able to buy because a lot of players couldn't get it. Was there a liquidity problem with the exchanges? Was it like what happened with Coinbase before where they said they were not prepared to handle the amount of volume? Guys, gals, I reported earlier this morning that crypto volume was like $500 million, or I'm sorry, $500 billion earlier today. $500 billion earlier today. That is a ton of money, and exchanges can't handle this shit. So does that mean every time there's like this awesome mega sale, you're gonna get screwed? Let me know down below if you got blocked from some buys yesterday, if you got blocked from any action. XRP right now down 15% last 7 days. We're seeing this move right now. Volume again, 20 billion last 24 hours, so exchanges are making money. Now, though, leveled off completely right here, just north of this 240 mark. You can see it ever since that big correction hit that 240, and it's just been playing around here. All because of tariff action with China. And for those out there, they're like, no, bro. No. That's what happened because it started bending over the stock markets on Friday. And the stock markets just had to eat a poop sandwich from that. Then, the crypto markets had to eat another poop sandwich. We're going to deal with it through this weekend, see what happens. But if this tariff stuff goes further south, get ready for the market to dump itself again. Tariff stuff goes good. Guess what, everyone? Then we go up. Here's the problem. We were so close to ETFs and regs, and then we got the government shutdown, which fucked us over, and then we got this poop storm, which fucked us over. This very frustrating. I'm frustrated, and I know you're frustrated. That's why days like this where I got to bring news is not necessarily the best. It's pretty tough. Luxembourg, nothing burger. 7 million euros. No one gives a fuck about that. XRP market manipulation, a lot of people care about that. Because I know a lot of you out there would have loved to have bought some XRP in the 160s, 150s. You would have spent tons more money. That's like the sale of a century, man. Well, not of a century with crypto. It's like the sale of like a quarter. I'd like to say that I'm surprised about all this, but I'm really not. The reality is, it seems like crypto's foundation is very soft compared to other assets. It's just riskier compared to other assets. It got higher highs and lower lows and a hell of a lot more volatility. So, am I surprised? Yeah, because this wasn't on our radar. This wasn't on our bingo card. No one was reporting about tariffs or anything, and all of a sudden, bah, poop sandwich. So now we got to eat through the tariff poop sandwich. We got to eat through the government shutdown poop sandwich. Yay, United States, los Estados Unidos. Way to go, guys. We're doing good for everyone. And that's some of the other things, too. I read a comment. It was right before I started filming for this. It was someone saying, I'm so pissed off that things with the United States and China are affecting my money. And this was someone out in Europe. And I'm totally right there with you. Totally right there with you. This is a thing between the United States and China, and we see crypto just plunge like this. And I'm thinking along with what a lot of y'all are thinking, that there's definitely manipulation, and they definitely blocked a lot of retail from participating in super sales. We know we've got a lot of big bullish things to come up in the near term, and it really seems like the bigs just decided to, I don't know, manipulate the Marketo a little bit based on some opportunistic news. Yeah, tariffs, China. Suck what? Not, well, it's going to be naughty right there. Sorry, just frustrating. But I'm fairly confident that the crypto market is going to come back. It's just a matter of when, not if. Hopefully I said that statement right. No, I did say it right. So choo-choo what? Well, the sign says it behind me if you can't read it. I bet you can now. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo biz nachos. Choo-choo bitches. Choo-choo bitch nachos, bitch nachos, bitch nachos. Bitches and blue-haired giraffes.